Hello everyone, and you're watching Bitcoin Bubble News channel. BTC has reached a higher high on the chart for the first time since March. In August we hit a clear high point, and now in September we've reached a new high point. What does this really mean? When you look at the 4-hour picture, you can see that we had a touch of a new high here, a new local high. This is because Bitcoin is currently going up and down. We are now refusing a little more and are likely to just chop in this range before any possible continuation. It doesn't seem like a big deal. Wick above the high, but that just means that demand is higher than supply. The bears aren't able to stop Bitcoin from making another lower high. They've already failed. We had a bigger high point. As we talked about in the last video, the 128-day simple moving average SMA has been very important in past cycles. We were below it for a while, but as you can see, we've been drawing into it for support over the last few days, and the bulls held that moving average, that line of strength. We've now broken out and pushed up. As we said in the video yesterday, there is still a lot of work to do, but this is a good sign. The 128-day SMA is another way to show the 21-week SMA. That one, I'm sure you all know. It's something that everyone talks about. It has been a very important part of many of Bitcoin's ups and downs in the past. And the last time this happened was in 2023, when we closed above the 21-week SMA. That's when we started our run. There's no doubt that we are now in the week. It is on the left. This week's close above the 21-week mean is likely to mean that we'll start pushing for even higher highs. We can see that there is a lot of resistance in that range, so there may be some chop along this level before the break to new all-time highs. What do I mean when I talk about new all-time highs? The SP 500 has now reached a new high point. It really opened up today. It's gone up 0.4% since yesterday. There is a red candle today, but that's because the SP 500 filled this gap with a dip down. And now we bounced back up. It looks like we want more of the same for the SP, and SP all-time highs always come before Bitcoin all-time highs. There has never been a new all-time high for Bitcoin before the SP did. Guys, things look good. I mean, everything looks good above the 21st week, above the 128th day. As I keep saying, we're not as far away from the all-time high as most people think. In fact, it's less than 14 per day. An awful lot of 10% daily candles have been seen for Bitcoin. Take a look at some of these old candles. We've seen a lot of them. This one was 22% up, and the ones below it were down. It went up 13% and 14%. If you see one of these candles on the Bitcoin chart right now, that means the price has reached a new all-time high. It's really close, not far away. That's all three of them. This is the altcoin market cap. Many of you are clearly holding altcoins because you're all getting so excited about Bitcoin. It's been close to its all-time high for a while now, which tells me that a lot of people are holding altcoins. The altcoin market cap has been stable for the whole year. At the start of 2024, altcoins had a huge run, but by March, they lost all of their gains and are now starting to recover. The altcoin market cap is starting to break through support. If you remember, we were talking about the last cycle and how the current situation is very similar to the last cycle situation. High-low accumulation range, resistance break, and consolidation. We're breaking the lower high after 10 weeks. This cycle had a high, a lower high, an accumulation range, a breakout, and a consolidation. If something similar happens again, we should break the lower high in about 10 weeks, which will mean a lot of altcoins have huge growth from now until November. So Q4 looks good for altcoins and Bitcoin in general. If that happens, if we start to see the total three come up quickly in the next few weeks, then Bitcoin dominance is probably going to take a hit. That's something we talked about recently as well. This is the multi-year resistance for Bitcoin dominance. We're coming upon it. We were above it briefly. And we also talked about fake out above the resistance before alt season started in 2017. The top of the 2020s and 2021s is where our resistance line points to where we are now. That's exactly where we are in this area. If the Bitcoin dominance chart starts to fall below this trend line, it's a pretty clear sign that we're going to see lower highs in Bitcoin dominance and then alt season starts. The same as every other time. You know, this cycle is the same as the ones that came before it. There are small differences. Time-wise, it's pretty much the same, but not exactly. We're not behind schedule, we're on time. In 2016, Bitcoin was split in half, and about 35 weeks later, it started to lose its hold on the market. This was the third halving. After about 45 weeks, Bitcoin's power started to fall. From the half to where we are now, we've been in this cycle for about 24 to 25 weeks. In 10 more weeks, Bitcoin should lose its top spot. In other words, we're on time and on track. The all-time high for Bitcoin is being broken when it should be. If you think Bitcoin will break the all-time high, it is getting close to it just at the right time. All three of the altcoins are breaking out of their dominance just at the right time. The exact same time, guys. In terms of time, there isn't much difference here. Some coins did a little better or worse than others. Rates of interest were high, among other things, which hurt lower caps. A lot of companies and exchanges are getting hit by the SEC. Low cap coins haven't done so well lately, but as you may have seen in the news, the CC is getting what's coming to them. Unfortunately, the CC is full of people who aren't very good at their jobs. Things are looking up for crypto because both presidential candidates have said they support it. We're in for some exciting times ahead as the Bitcoin price starts to change in important ways. Also, guys, now is the time to sign up for Patreon. We won't stay this cheap for long. If we break the all-time high, retail will come back in droves, and we'll have to charge more because there will be fewer spots available. If you act quickly before that happens, you can lock in these prices and also a deal that lasts a whole year. It's very cheap. You can keep that for a long time. Join our community today if you want to see some of our altcoin picks and trades, or if you want to be a part of our morning Discord voice chats where you can talk to me directly when the market starts. Don't miss this chance. Getting in before the other small players who will join when the market starts to move again. Okay, that's it. The next film will be with you all.